Yeah, we've got Lindsay from Gilbert. She has a question.
Okay, so it's going to be kind of long. I was really nervous to talk, but hearing everybody kind of like touched on what I wanted to say. So fortunately, my story is a lot different than the Keener family, the Durkin family, and thank God this gentleman that spoke before me, I'm glad he got to talk. Hopefully Phoenix PD will get in touch with him and get that family some justice, just along with the Lord family and all the other victims. My first encounter with teen violence was my daughter's second week of 7th grade. She goes to a local school. She came home and said, "This girl's threatening to jump me and I have no idea who she is." My husband's response was, "It's just talk, they're just kids, they're 13, we live in Gilbert, this isn't gonna be an issue." I spoke to another mom that night. She let me know that there was a slander Instagram page that we should look at. So I went on Instagram, public page, middle school name, slander page. You send in crap you wanna talk about other people, or you send in videos of the fights that go on at the school. I reported it to Instagram. Instagram said it did not go against community guidelines.
Oh my God.
When I spoke to the principal, he was aware of the page. He's tried many times to get it taken down, cannot get taken down. Let him know of the girl threatening my daughter to jump her, who she had never spoken to, never knew her name. There was a text message with the proof. He said, "We will handle it, it'll be taken seriously." The next day she comes home from school and we are told that they sat the two of them down and talked it out. I understand there's a time and a place for that. I understand there's a time and a place that we need to teach our kids to communicate and work problems out on their own. I did not think that was appropriate. I thought that, why put a target on my kid's back that she's a snitch? Why are we not handling the offender and why are we putting the victim in this light? Speaking to other moms in the community, the same issue in our district is going on, where you had a kid relentlessly bullied for years, and that's how the middle school handled it. They had the two kids talk it out. So you have a kid being bullied and an offender sitting in a room with an administrator. Let's talk this out. That's putting a target on the victim's back. And then you have these people like the Keener family who go to the cops and say, "This is what's going on." Nothing's done. They're sitting in school next to each other the next day. Well, how does that make the victim feel? No wonder these kids aren't coming forward and saying anything when they're terrified, because our schools aren't having their back, our law enforcement isn't having their back. And we're just supposed to say something. You know, if you see something, say something. Why would they? They're terrified. There's families out here that have put ribbons, myself included, on light poles, and we're scared to be on the news to make sure that nothing happens to our kids by the kids and their families that are out still running around who've committed murder. If there was a kid being kidnapped, the Gilbert PD would come out and say, "Hey, you know what, public? Everything is safe. You don't need to worry." It's been 3 months. Queen Creek hasn't heard, everybody's safe. Gilbert hasn't heard, everybody's safe. We're just supposed to say, "Okay, kids, go to In-N-Out on a Friday night, go be a teen and hope nothing happens." Something has to be said. We need some kind of confirmation that our kids are safe and that they're gonna be safe, and it starts in the parents, it starts in the family, but we gotta get these schools on the same page with zero tolerance, violence, bullying, all of that.
That is such a good point.
It is a good point.
Kristen, I know you don't have all the answers, but as a longtime educator, it does sound like, not only from the stories we've heard tonight, but from Bianca's reporting leading up to this, and Chase Golightly, and all of our other journalists at 12 News, that there is a breakdown between the time that a parent calls a school, whether it's a guidance counselor, a principal, a teacher, and says, "My kid is being bullied." Somehow, in many cases, that information is not being passed along to the right parties.
I think that schools are trying to figure it out, just like we all are. And I can tell you, as an administrator, the first time you get a call about someone being bullied, we absolutely take it seriously. But there are different pieces to that. And you do have to make sure that you're protecting every student involved. We absolutely want to go out and get the bully and catch the bad guy. But sometimes that bad guy has also been bullied and mistreated, and we can't reach the parents, and we can't get them on the phone, and we don't know where they are, and he's sleeping on the couch of his best friend's brothers who happened to, also drop them off that morning. There are other variables at play, but I think that every administrator takes that seriously because it impacts our entire campus.
It must be so frustrating for parents to hear what you just said, that in some ways, your hands are tied because you can't go after the bully in every case. When you hear this, you've experienced it firsthand, because I'm sure that your kids at some point talked to a school administrator or a teacher or a guidance counselor, and I think you said it fell on deaf ears.
Yeah. In fact, the fact that, we thought we were doing the right thing and going to the school and presenting it, I read in the court papers from the arrest of one of the adults in my son's case, and he specifically said the reason my son got jumped was because he reported it to the school that he was getting threatened. So here we do the right thing, and that's the reason that they claim that he jumped him. So some good points. I have a lot of mixed emotions on the school, and there was a lot of failures I think that happened. I can express that one of the suspects' mother is a principal for the school district that I went to. So how come I didn't get a call from them? So I hear what you're saying, but I think there's just a lot of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word cover up, but it sure feels like it. So.